We are the Guinea Pig Collective. All will be assimilated. Resistance is futile.
Searching for old treasures, blowing off the dust. Timeless stories and legendary characters. This is Talking Movies.
Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome back to another Talking Movies. So on today's Talking Movies, we will be talking about The Logans, Babaloo Mandel, and directed by Ron Howard, 1982 classic Night Shift. Starring Henry Winkler as Chuck Lumley. Michael Keaton is Bill Blazejowski. Shelley Long is Belinda Keaton. Gina Heck as Charlotte Kugel. Pat Corley is Edward Kugel. Bobby DeCiccio is Leonard. Nita Talbot is Vivian. And a whole host of other cast and characters that add to the story of this movie. And the story goes as such. A bit of a recluse of a morgue attendant gets shunted back to the night shift where he is shackled with an obnoxious neophyte partner who dreams of the one great idea for success. His life takes a bizarre turn when a prostitute neighbor complains about the loss of her pimp. His partner, upon hearing the situation, suggests that they fill that opening themselves using the morgue at night as their brothel. Against his better judgment, he gets talked into the idea only to find that it's more than his boss that has objections to this bit of entrepreneurship. Another one of those instant classics. This movie is actually fun and quite entertaining, and it is not too heavy on the comedy, but there is just enough in this to get you some good chuckles along the way. Now, early screen roles for Kevin Costner and Shannon Doherty. Costner as a frat boy in the morgue party scene, a non-speaking bit part, and Doherty plays a bluebell, which is very much like a Girl Scout that's in an elevator scene with a single line. And this movie was actually not only the breakthrough, but the very first starring role of Michael Keaton. And continuing on first, this is actually the first major Hollywood studio picture directed by Ron Howard. So going ahead with some more crazy things, this film contains the first recorded version of the song That's What Friends Are For, written by Burt Bacharach and Carol Bayer Sager. It was first recorded in 1982 by Rod Stewart for this soundtrack and then made globally famous 3 years later by Dionne Warwick and Friends, a collective of known vocalists including Gladys Knight, Sir Elton John, and Stevie Wonder. Their version of the song went to number one for 3 weeks on Billboard's charts in 1986 and was recorded as a benefit for American Foundation for AIDS Research. Sales of the record raised over $3 million for that cause. So, director Cameo, Ron Howard, he had his real-life wife Cheryl appear as the couple making out in front of Chuck E.'s apartment building. Now, the fraternity having the party in the morgue is Delta Tau Chi, seen on the wall, which is the same fraternity as in National Lampoon's Animal House from 1978. Kurt Russell and Mickey Rourke both had auditioned for the role of Bill Blazejowski. And where movie meets reality, all inventions by Bill Blazejowski do exist. For example, edible paper and thermal clothing for snow regions. So, the prisoner who asked Chuck if he wants to be dead is actually voiced by the same guy who did Roger Rabbit. When Bill is listening over and over to the tape recording of Chuck saying how much he wishes Bill would shut up, the tape keeps rewinding back, but Bill's fingers don't ever move until finally when he shuts the tape machine off. 52 minutes into the film, when Chuck is reading a computer screen showing his and Bill's investments for their prostitution company, there are multiple spelling errors which aren't due to the screen's limitations. When the ladies of the evening arrive at the jail to bail the guys out, one of them tells Mimi to pay the cab driver. As Mimi starts getting into the cab to pay him, the girl that told her to pay then says to Mimi with money, Great line. However, according to the cast credits, there is no Mimi character. There is, however, a Linda played by Mimi Lieber. So Chuck is being assaulted with the water hose, then are interrupted by the police during the shootout. The hose is dropped from Chuck's mouth, but there is never any water on the floor. When Chuck and Bill go upstairs in the club at the end of the movie, Bill is barefoot. When Bill jumps off the balcony and lands on the floor a few seconds later, he is wearing red sneakers. And the big black dog that terrorizes Chuck as he enters his apartment rounds the corner and slides twice. And of course, just because it's the beginning of a movie doesn't mean that the goofs can't happen. In the beginning of the movie, the pimp's arms are tied to the chair along with his body. As the body begins to fall, his arms are tied. As he progresses in the fall, his arms are up in the air and untied. When the pimp and the chair crash through the basketball hoop, his arms are tied to the chair again. Anyway, guys, that is all I have on this one. Do you know this movie? Have you heard of this movie? Are you planning to see this movie? Go ahead and let me know what you think in the comments down below. And of course, as always, we always appreciate you here, and we hope that you will share these videos out because this is the only way that we are going to get noticed. Not only me, but many other content creators, and we really hope that you will do this for us. And of course, if you've enjoyed yourself, please go ahead and destroy that like button. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. I am glad that you are here, and I hope that you've enjoyed yourself. And if you have, I hope you will consider subscribing. And I will catch you all next time. Later, y'all.